Final report of the commercial starship Nostromo. Third officer reporting. The other members of the crew: Kane, Lambert, Parker, Brett, Ash, and Captain Dallas are dead. Cargo and ship destroyed. I should reach the frontier in about 6 weeks. With a little luck, the network will pick me up. This is Ripley, last survivor of the Nostromo, signing off.
Out of all the horror games I've played in my lifetime, few carry the same mantle of terror as this game. Alien Isolation is a masterpiece of atmosphere and tension, and is easily one of the best survival horror games that I have ever played. As a survival horror game, it brings a new standard of horror to the genre, and it does it almost every bit as well as Resident Evil 4 did more than 10 years ago. And it does this with some impressive graphics, an amazingly spooky soundtrack, and a masterful use of lighting and sound effects. Who would have thought that a developer, mostly known for their pedigree of strategy games, would even be brave enough to see the potential for survival horror in the Alien franchise? But it's not only a great horror game, it's a love letter to fans of the series, who I'm sure have waited years for an immersive Alien experience like this. Our heroine, Amanda Ripley, is an engineer working in the same sector that her mother went missing in, hoping to find what became of her doomed voyage. But as fate would have it, Amanda is given the chance to solve the mystery of what happened all those years ago, and hopefully find some closure with her mother Ellen. Not too long after waking from hypersleep, a freak accident separates you from your ship and your crew, and you find yourself all alone on an enormous ship. That is, until you are put face to face with the same creature that your mother had to survive against. And from here on in, you have no choice but to do whatever it takes to outlast this terrifying creature and get back to your ship alive, or die trying. And this, my fellow viewers, is survival horror at its very best. The tension and atmosphere found here is incredible. There's almost nothing else like it. While trying to escape the ship, you must always be on your guard, always have an ear out for the slightest sound in the distance. What might sound like the hissing of compressed air might just be the last thing you'll ever hear. But sometimes it might not even be close, but you can still hear it. That's where your motion tracker comes in handy. It can detect if the alien is in the area, but its loud noise can also lure the alien to wherever you're hiding. If and when the alien gets to you, it's game over. There are no scripted paths here. The alien can come out of any vent, any ceiling, or creep down any hallway when you least expect it. Sometimes you might be alone, only to open a door and see it walking past you. You could be walking down a hallway, only to hide behind a pile of debris, hoping that he didn't see you. Add this to the fact that there are no checkpoints and no autosaves, and there's no getting around the fact that Alien Isolation is incredibly unforgiving. Yeah, there is no messing around here. If you want to have any chance of survival against the alien, then you need to get your survivor senses flying sky high. Like I mentioned before, there are no checkpoints in Isolation, not even after completing a level. Instead, there are payphones found usually at the beginning, middle, and end of some areas. These function as the game's save stations and checkpoints. Saving after every little accomplishment is key to surviving the game's difficult nature. But be careful, as it takes 3 seconds to fully save your progress, and in those 3 seconds, you are completely vulnerable to whatever is lurking in the shadows. And if you should die before the save goes all the way through, that's right, you need to start again. But hold on there, things aren't that bad. While it's true that your standard gun arsenal is completely useless against your foe, eventually you get a flamethrower, which you can use to confront and push back the alien, making you feel like you have a fighting chance against this creature that once made you feel so powerless. But just be warned, the alien isn't the only danger on the ship. Scattered throughout the levels are these androids whose programming has gone awry, and they don't want to help you, they want to kill you. They may be slow moving, but they are very strong. It could take an insane amount of damage. So until the good weapons show up, it's your safest bet to either hide or outrun these guys. But even when I had weapons, I was afraid to use them, out of fear that the alien would be drawn to the sound of my gunfire and kill me. I think it really says something when a survival horror game actually makes you scared to want to use your weapons. Human survivors aren't much better. They like to travel in packs, carry a lot of guns, and will kill you on sight. But it's actually pretty easy to outsmart these guys. Since the alien knows neither friend from foe, you can create a lot of noise around a group of homicidal survivors and wait for the alien to finish them off so you can proceed. What makes the game work for me is its excellent attention to detail, impressive graphics, sound, and detailed lighting. For those brief moments when you're not worried about whether or not you're going to live to see the next section, it's hard not to get carried away in how beautiful and fully realized this game is. Everything from the subtle lighting to the fog and mist that envelops the dark rooms, all the way down to the 1970s CRT monitors with little notes that film the backstory. It's impossible not to find yourself fully immersed in this game. The soundtrack and sound effects are also fantastic. It never failed to make me jump out of my chair. Beautiful, chaotic, intense, it hits all the right notes. If you want to truly appreciate this game, then play it in the dark with a quality pair of headphones or speakers and get ready to have the shit scared out of you. Creative Assembly did an amazing job, not only with fully utilizing the Alien license, but with their first survival horror game. I wish there were more games like this. Yes, there's Outlast, which focuses more on running and hiding than anything else. And yes, there's the eventual Resident Evil 7, which I hope turns out okay. If anything, Alien Isolation feels like a mix between Resident Evil Nemesis, in which the main antagonist randomly stalks you throughout the game, and Enemy Zero, an Alien-inspired game that also happens to be incredibly unforgiving in its design. Well, here's hoping this isn't the end we see of this series, and hopefully we can get another great Alien game in the near future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.